Homemade cake is just the best way to start a video, isn't it? Can I really just make a video about eating banana bread? Maybe it's more interesting in photography. I'm gonna have to wash it down. How do I look? So here's 5 bad photography habits we all need to break right now. So bad habit number 1 is what I call the Gen Z bad habit. Now why is it a bad habit? Well, if you're holding your camera out like this, there's a few problems with that. With video, you kind of have to, but you probably have a more stable platform to shoot from, so that's fine. When it comes to photos, you can get tired arms. Tired arms, not a good thing. That means you've got a grumpy, tired photographer. And then your talent's gonna get wound up by the fact that you're being short with them. So you don't wanna be doing that. The other problem is stability. If you're getting blown around in the wind, that's not good. Bring it up to here, nice and stable. And then the other advantage is everything else is blacked out around you. So you're not getting distracted by what else is going on. You just focus exactly on what's in the frame. Bad habit number 2 is taking photos and not making photos. What's the difference? Well, taking photos is something that we all do. So if you're in a relatively nice looking situation, the images are gonna look all right, aren't they? But if you want to separate yourself out from everybody else, you gotta make photos. Now, what do I mean by making photos? Well, if you think about that frame that you've got in front of you, everything that's in that frame is what you want in there, which might mean that you're adding certain things in or changing certain things inside that frame. When you do that, you're saying what I want in that frame is exactly what looks best to me, but also you're doing it in a sense that you know that's gonna make it look better when you show it to everybody else. So bad habit number 3 is not shooting enough different images. So let's say you've set up a great scenario, you think this looks really good. So you perfect that frame, but you've shot like 100 images and you think, oh, okay, maybe I'll change the angle ever so slightly. Then you get back to the computer and you find, oh, I've shot 150 images, but I've only walked away with 1. Okay, it might be a banger, but then you've only got the 1. Now, if you shoot, let's say, top down, that looks quite different. You shoot coming up, that looks different. Spin it round or you change a lens, then you end up with like 15, 20 images that you think, actually, these are all pretty good. Okay, maybe you've shot 700 images to get there, but you've got all these different scenarios to work with. Now, why is that a good thing? Well, let's say you think number 1 and number 5 image out of 15 or 20, let's say 20, 1 to 5, I love those. Those are the best images. Here's the thing. You send them off to your friend or your client and you think, oh, I liked 1 to 5, but they've just told me they liked 10, 12, and 13 the most. Well, if you hadn't have shot them, then they would have ended up with something that, okay, maybe you liked it, but they didn't like it quite as much as what you could have done. So that's the big thing. Changing it up. Try different scenarios, try different angles, again, lenses, and then you'll find you'll have more to work with when you get back to the computer. Actually, and that's the thing as well, I've shot like that in the past and found that images I didn't think were that great, I get them into the computer, and actually I like those more than the ones I thought that were really good. So that's number 3. Change it up, try different things. How about bad habit number 4? Well, I call this one chimping, and that's when you grab the camera, take an image, and then you start looking at it. Why is this a bad habit to have? Well, 1, you're wasting time, and 2, you're telling yourself you're not confident in what you've just taken. You should know exactly what that image looks like when you click the button. You should know it's well exposed, you should know it's in focus, and you should know everything in the frame is what you put in there. So how about bad habit number 5? Well, the bad habit number 5 is assuming that you have everything that you need. Now, how many times have you gone out and realized that you haven't cleared your memory card? That's not a good thing. What about if you haven't charged your battery and then you've only got like 5-10 shots and then it's game over? So the big thing for me was whenever I get back home, I dump all my footage, all my photos, and then I make sure it's all backed up, and then I can clear my cards there and then. I can charge my batteries and then put it all back in the bag and it's ready to go for next time. There's nothing worse than like having a great opportunity to take photos and then not being ready to do it. Also, the other thing is, like, when it comes to video especially, I know this is mainly about photos, but there's so many little bits that come with shooting video. You need to make sure it all goes back in the same place, because if you don't have one little piece, you find that you can't shoot the same way that you wanted to. As an example, this Ronin, oh man. So 1, it needs its own little slidey pad, so I make sure that always goes back in the bag. That's really important. It's so easy to forget little bits like that. And then the other thing as well, I can shoot 2 lenses on this without any adapters, but I had to build my own adapter to make sure the 50mm 1.2 fits on there, because otherwise the lens like fouls on it and it doesn't work. So That little plastic piece that I built has to go in the bag after I'm finished using it every single time, otherwise I can't shoot my 50mm, and that's like really annoying. So don't assume everything in your camera bag's ready to go. You need to check it there, and then when you get back home that everything's gone back in, and before you go out again you need to make sure that you did it last time. So that's 5 bad habits that you need to break right now to improve your photography. If you want to learn about why you need a 50mm 1.2, because I know you need it and I know you want it, go and watch this video right now.